Welcome to this training session of MTBC Practice Management and Web EHR. This session is intended for nurses and PAs. Today we'll show you how to create a new patient, how to complete appointments, how to create a new patient chart, how to attach documents, how to pull some daily reports, and finally some meaningful use tips. Let's get started and show you how to create a new patient. Click on the Web EHR link and then click on Patient Search. Under the Patient Search, you'll be able to go ahead and search a patient in your entire database. You can search a patient by their last name, first name, date of birth, account number, claim number, reference IDs. If you want to go ahead and search a patient that has A in their last name, click on the box that says Contains, click on Search, and it will list you all the patient which has letter A in their last name. Click on the patient's name and it will open up the patient's account. To add a new patient, click on the button that is available on the right hand side of the screen. A new Create Patient window pops up. Go ahead and enter the new patient's last name, first name, middle initial if any, date of birth, and press OK. It's going to take you to the demographic tab of the patient's account. Now you'll be able to go ahead and enter all the demographic information along with their provider. If you want to go ahead and assign a provider to the patient's account, if you have a webcam attached, you can take a picture, or if their picture is saved on your computer, you can always attach it towards the patient's account. Now, some of the key things to remember on the demographic page is gender, race, ethnicity, preferred language, and date of birth. These are the 5 things that are mandatory for meaningful use purposes. If there's something that you're not sure about, then you can select Undetermined from the list, which is available as well. Now to add an insurance, click on the tab that is available on the left hand side of the screen. It's going to take you to the insurance page of the demographic tab. Now you can enter as many as 3 insurances, primary, secondary, and territory. To add an insurance, click on the plus sign that's available right over here, and an insurance search tab appears. You have 3 options listed here: My List, My State, All. My List includes all those insurances which are frequently used by the office. If this is the first time you're using the system, then you will search using All option. As you tend to use the system automatically starts updating My List tab for you. Let's suppose we search Blue Cross Blue Shield. Click on Search. If I want to narrow my search down, I can click on My State and it will filter it for my state as well. If I want to go ahead and narrow it down by a zip code, I can do that right from here. Click on the insurance and it will add it towards the patient's account. Now you can go ahead and enter the rest of the insurance information as far as the policy number, deductible, effective date is concerned, allowed visit. If you want to go ahead and delete an insurance, you can click on the delete button available on the right hand side of the screen, and that will delete that insurance from our system. Once all the required information is entered, click on Save to update it into the patient's account. Moving on to the next tab of the training, that is Appointment. Click on the Appointments tab. Under the Appointments tab, you will be able to go ahead and list all the patient's appointment in our system right over here. You do not have to pull up a special report. Just go into the patient's account, click on Appointments, and all the patient's appointment will be listed over here. You can print them out as well. Click on the Print button. It gives you an option to either print it from a specific date or just print them all with the same status. If you want to go ahead and see all the rescheduled appointments for a specific month, just select the date for that particular month and it will print the report out for you. To go ahead and delete an appointment, the option would be available under Action. You can also modify an appointment from the same tab. To add a new appointment, click on the Add New button available on the right side of the screen. Add Appointment window shows up. it will select the default provider and location for the patient. If you want to change the provider, click on the drop down menu and you can actually change it to another provider within the office. Same thing applies with the location as well. To change the date, click on the small calendar available on the right hand side of the date tab. Right beside that you have the time. If you click on the drop down menu, it actually allows you to go and view all the appointments scheduled for that particular day. So you can actually view the scheduler of that particular day right over here. Now if you want to filter those appointments out and you just want to see available time slots, check on the box on the right hand side and now you will see only the available appointment. Select the time you want to schedule the appointment for, select the visit reason for which the patient is coming in, number of time units. Units are defined as time allotted for an appointment. If the provider sees 4 patients in an hour, then the time unit is set up to 15 minutes, and if this patient needs to be allotted more time, then you can select 2 time units and that will show 30-minute appointment on the scheduler. You can select the facility, the status would be set up to pending. You can add the patient's home phone number, cell phone number, email address right from the add appointment screen as well. If there are specific notes that need to be added to the appointment, you can do that right from here under the appointment notes tab and then click on save to save the appointment. Once you save the appointment, as I said, you can always delete or modify the appointment by clicking on the buttons available right over here. To modify, click on the modify icon and the same edit appointment screen comes up. You can also delete the appointment by clicking on the sign right over here and it will allow you to delete the appointment right from the appointments tab of the web EHR. Now you can also add, remove, edit and delete appointments from the main scheduler screen. Click on the scheduler from the main drop down menu and click on appointments. Now from the main scheduler screen you'll be able to go ahead and view a lot more options. As you can see, all the new patients that are coming in will show an N letter in front of them on their appointments. You can add an appointment by clicking on add new appointment. If you're a multiple provider, multiple location practice, it will let you select the provider and location. Click on submit and a fairly same kind of window shows up, but you have a lot more options on there. Now you can select individual provider, you can select date, time, you can schedule an appointment for existing patient. You also have an option available to click on new patient to schedule an appointment for a new patient. The minimum information required by MTBC EHR is last name, first name, and their date of birth. We also recommend the home phone number and the email address because it will be used for balance reminder and appointment reminder calls. Then you can select the visit reason and you can add multiple reasons by going into the settings tab of the scheduler. You can add units to it. Now you have 2 fields that are available, which is called patient note and appointment note. You can put in some alerts for yourself. Appointment note stays in the scheduler and they could be reminded by the 2 options available for future appointments or for disappointments, and those will appear on the right hand side of the screen as you can see on the scheduler. You are able to go ahead and print out the appointment history from the same window, and you'll be able to go ahead and check the eligibility of the patient. The system also allows you to go ahead and print a super bill. Let's go ahead and research an existing patient real quick. Type in a few letters, click on search, click on the patient name, pulls the patient up. Select the time you want to schedule them for. Let's suppose I want to schedule them on for 12 p.m. I want to assign 2 units for them. And now if I want to print a super bill, I can just print the super bill right from here. Click on print. And as you can see, super bill printed. At the same time, if I want to go ahead and pull up an appointment history, I can do that for that particular patient as well. If you want to go ahead and block the time for a meeting, for your scheduler, you can actually do that. Let's go and clear this appointment. Now you can go ahead and select the time you want to start the meeting for, number of units the meeting would be applied. Let's suppose we want to do a 45-minute meeting. Select 3 units there, click on meeting tab, and it will block that time for you as on your schedule, and it will show up meeting time for the provider, David Jones. Press OK. Now you can actually close it out. Right on the scheduler, it will show you 3 units scheduled for meeting. Now you can view the scheduler in a weekly format, and you have an option to view it in monthly as well. You can just click on that particular day, it takes you directly to that scheduler. Now if you're a multiple provider, multiple location practice, you can actually filter the scheduler by individual providers. Click on display, and it will show you the scheduler in detail. You can view your notes by taking a cursor onto that particular mark. Now this is a patient note which I would have written while creating an appointment. Now once the patient is in the office, you're going to change the status from pending to completed. Click on the drop down menu, select completed, press OK, and a small cash register shows up. This cash register is integrated within our scheduler. You can put in a dollar amount what was collected in the office. If it was a check, credit card, cash. If this is something that the patient owes, then it will show you IOU. That stands for patient owes you. And if you want to go ahead and write off the cash register, you can always select the reason from the drop down menu. Then click on save and print, and it would add that towards the patient account. And it lets you print a receipt and give it to the patient as well. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the training, that is how to create patient charts in MTBC Web EHR. For that, once the patient appointment have been completed, the patient have already checked in, and you're done with the cash register entries, take your cursor all the way towards the left hand side of the screen on their appointment to the Times tab, and a new menu appears. You have multiple options over there. You can go ahead and go to the demographic tab of the Web EHR, go to the Claims tab, create a new chart, or go to the Charts page. And go to the Charts page over here. Now you can access the same option by clicking on the Web EHR and then go to the Patient Search as well. Go to the Chart Summary tab, and it will take you to the Patient Charts tab directly. Patient Chart tab is actually divided in 2 parts, Patient Feed and Patient Chart. Patient Feed provides useful information regarding a patient's clinical and non-clinical data. It centralizes all the content your office has created, as well as any updates from MTBC in one easy read to window. You can also reply to these messages by clicking on the box available right over here. You can restrict to view these messages by clicking on Restricted Users tab, which is available in the left corner. The Patient Charts page has multiple options. You can select a chart by checking the box on the left hand side of the chart. Now you can print it. You can forward it out to another user to review it. You can delete the chart if it was created in error. You can also retrieve a deleted chart by clicking on the deleted button. At the same time, if you want to go ahead and search a chart, click on the search button. Now you can search a chart by giving the patient name, provider name, what is their status, what were the diagnosis code, and so forth. Going back to the main screen again. Right underneath that, you have multiple options. You can search a chart by their status. The chart has 5 different statuses: signed, co-signed, completed, pending, and forwarded. All of these are color-coded for your ease. To create a new chart, click on the new button available at the top, and it's going to take you to the chart page. chart page is actually divided into multiple parts. As you can see, it has multiple tabs in it: history of presenting illness, medical history, social history, review of system, physical exam, office tests, assessments and procedures, plan of care, which is also medication, chart notes, and summary. On the right side of the chart, you have multiple shortcuts that are available that will take you directly to these tabs, which are listed right over here. Right at the bottom of these shortcuts is a shortcut called collapse. You can click on it and it will just minimize all the tabs which are open on your screen. Now right on top of that, you have the date for which you're creating the chart for. If you want to change the date, click on the calendar and you can actually change it. Provider name for which the chart has been created, location, and is it an office visit, nurse visit, or so forth. Now on the right side of the screen, you have alerts. You can create multiple patient and disease management guidelines within the EHR, and the web EHR will be able to go ahead and give you those alerts when you click on creating a chart. Now create these alerts, you're going to click on the EHR settings tab and then select EHR settings. And the disease management guideline is available at the bottom of the screen. Now you have two different tabs of disease management guideline. Either create a generic disease management guideline which can include both the genders. To add one, click on add. Now it gives you multiple options, or you can create it for gender specific, so forth. Coming back to the main screen, go ahead and start creating a chart. The first tab under the charts is history of presenting illness. Click on that tab and you'll be able to go ahead and list 4 different options, which is listed under history of presenting illness. That is, first of them is reason of visit, history of presenting illness, vital signs, and allergies. Reason of visit. Reason of visit consists of history provided by: was it a patient, spouse, daughter, son, father who provided this history initially? Was this patient referred by a referring physician? To document that, click on the plus sign. You have a drop-down menu which lets you select from a last name or a first name. I can search a referring physician. Suppose the name was Smith. Click on the referring physician doctor and it's going to add that towards the chart. Now let's suppose you do not find a referring physician in the system. You want to add that referring physician in the referring physicians list. To add a referring physician, you're going to click on the settings tab right over here and click on EHR settings. It's going to take you to the settings tab of the web EHR. Click on the